So how can I say this in the most straightforward and clear way possible? You have zero credibility, and that's why you're witnessing your online coaching business that you worked so hard on collapse right in front of your eyes. You're not getting clients anymore. You're not getting any sales anymore. People don't love you or trust you, and you're getting the views, but people are just clicking away. So you go in your analytics and you see people just click away after just a few seconds. Why? And look, the reality is you are not on your own. The coaching industry is bleeding, but only for those who don't understand what I'm going to explain in this video. But what do you mean? You just said that the online coaching industry is bleeding. Well, actually not for a select group of people that get this right. The reality is you are competing with universities and with gurus who promise the same thing as you. In this video, I'm going to be going over why a lack of credibility and trust is the reason why your coaching business is failing, and how you can actually use the mechanisms to build credibility and trust to crush the gurus in the space. And look, essentially there are three facets to this. Number one, marketing. Number two, fulfillment. And number three, as a quick bonus, I'm going to explain to you how you can combine the two to ensure the long-term sustainability and survival of your business. Meaning your business won't just be a 1 to 2 year stint. We're looking at building something long-term for yourself. Right, let's get straight into it. Number one, marketing. Oh, you see this guy, right? Mr. Hormozi. Let me ask you a question. How many people have you heard calling this guy a scammer or a fake guru or unethical? Look, personally, I haven't, right? And there's a reason to this. What separates Hormozi from the rest is his uncompromising will to always give as much value away for free as possible. And this is literally the intro I want to give to this segment of the video. Alex Hormozi positions himself as a leader, as a friend, as a person who will guide you and help you solve your business problems in a methodical way. No fluff, no messing about, no gatekeeping. He gives it all away for free. And the perfect example is his books, $100 Million Leads and $100 Million Offers. Perfect examples, right? He gives away the tips and tricks, the personal experiences, the free courses, the frameworks. He gives it all away, right? And there's a reason to this. He's even written his 2 books available online. If you see me reading here, I've got a bunch of notes for this video, so I'm just going to read off my notes while explaining them on my iPad, right? So how do we leverage Hormozi's tactics? How do we leverage Hormozi's funnel almost to fulfill this? So here's the thing. Number one, most of you are saying you're giving away value, but you're actually not, right? So you think you're giving away value, but you're actually not. You're not giving away enough. And look, you're probably posting 2 to 3 times per week. You know, maybe some reels here and there, maybe a YouTube video here and there. But I'm here to tell you, look, it's not enough. You need to be posting more frequently. And if we take a look at Hormozi's posting schedule, let's just take a look for a moment. So as you can see, look, he is not playing around with his posting schedule. 1 day ago, 4 days ago, 6 days ago, 9 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? So he's getting in at least 2-3 long forms in per week. Let's take a look at his shorts. He's getting in at least 1 short a day, right? All of these content pieces, obviously, my thing doesn't want to load. Let's move on to Instagram and I'll show you exactly what he's doing over on that platform. And there we go again, right? 3 hours ago, 23 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. So you see Alex Hormozi giving away all of this value, right, on a day-to-day basis, right? And he goes really in depth. There's no fluff, there's no gatekeeping, right? And essentially what I'm telling you is what everyone else in this space is telling you, right? Give away value for free. But look, here's the thing. I want you to realize the magnitude of value that Hormozi is giving away, right? So let's actually have a think, right? Number one, 2 books on the 2 biggest problems that any business faces: offers or offer creation and leads. He's already solved 2 huge problems for business owners, right? In whatever space, in whatever niche. 2 whole books. On top of that, he's given away a course with every book, a whole course, right? Unlike yourself, you're charging 3, 4, 5K for your course, right? He's given away a full course with each of his books, probably worth upwards of 10, 20, 30K, right? So I want you to really, really think about this. On top of that, he's got his school communities, he's got his free stuff going out on YouTube. So essentially what I'm trying to tell you is the reason why Hormozi has won in this space and the reason why he has the most cred is because he posts a lot and because he just gives away everything for free. He says it himself in his videos. Give away everything for free and sell the implementation. So an actionable item that I want to give you right now is to post parts of your course and give it away for free. Especially if you're in a competitive environment, in a competitive niche, give it all away for free. The fact is that ChatGPT can probably give your prospect the same information that you're selling. So information is actually not what you're selling. And look, this is essentially what Alex Hormozi understood. If he's able to give away the most value, a full course for free, then he will get the traffic and he will get the people flocking to him for this information. Why? Because no one else is giving it away. And look, the winners in this space post a lot. No gatekeeping, no fluff, and they just get posting. It's never enough. And if you feel like you're doing enough, trust me, it's probably not enough. Now, firstly, if you're not pulling the lever of content right now, then I suggest you do, because that's probably the reason why you're falling back, why you don't have a big enough personal brand. And number two, if you do have a personal brand, right, but people are tired of seeing the same thing, I would switch it up and I would just say, you know what, guys, I'll give away the full course for free, available on the internet, right? And if you don't want to give away parts of your course from your program, just make a free course. Just make a little free course, advertise it as a course worth $5,000, $10,000, whatever you feel it is worth, and just give it away for free, right? What Alex Hormozi is he shocked people. He shocked people with his books. He shocked people with his free courses. And that's the reason why he's so loved in the space. So that's number one. Number two, remember what I said about gatekeeping. No fluff, right? This is vital. Why? Because people's BS meters are increasing. People are tired of gurus. People are tired of online course sellers. They're just tired, right? They can see right through you when you're trying to sell them. And with the abundance of info out there, trust is what everybody is fighting over. Everyone is fighting over trust. Everyone's fighting over attention, but also fighting over trust. So how can we, from guru, 100 million gurus out there in the world, right? How can we gain the trust of the public, of millions of people, right? Among this pool of gurus? Just do things differently. Be different. And this stands out in football, this stands out in business, this stands out in personal branding, right? Let me give you an example. Lamine Yamal, right? If you watch football, you probably know Lamine Yamal. The reason why Lamine Yamal, great talented player, 17-year-old, plays at Barcelona, he has the whole platform. But the reason why he's so loved is because the way he plays the game of football is against what people are tired of seeing. Again, if you understand football, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Right? People are tired of seeing Rodri style, Pep Guardiola, boring tactics. They want to see real football, right? So there's a reason why so many people love him more than the boring Pep style football. That's why he's probably the most entertaining football player in the world to watch at the moment. So how can we translate this fun little principle into your own personal brand? It's very simple. Be different. Be authentic. Don't be so polished, right? If you have a look at all of the gurus out there, they're all putting up an image. They're all putting up some sort of image. And I'm not asking you not to put up an image, but be yourself and leverage that. Because people, when they watch somebody who they resonate with, who maybe they share the same aspirations, they share the same goals, they share the same struggles. How many gurus do you see talking about how difficult their day was? Not many, because they want to put themselves up on a pedestal, which is fine because you're going to put yourself up on a pedestal because you want to establish authority. But you still have that authenticity. You still show people like, I have that. I go through what you're going through. So this is the shift in content that we're seeing. So what I said about gatekeeping and no fluff, people aren't trusting gurus anymore. Eventually these gurus will die out if they're not able to adapt. The biggest guys in the space, Charlie Morgan. If anyone knows Charlie Morgan, take a look at his content now. He doesn't post guru style content anymore, or stereotypical guru style content. Why? Because he understood, he cracked the content game. It's all about personality. It's all about showing yourself. Look, you're almost trying to be a mini celebrity, depending obviously on your niche. So don't be afraid to give away too much. Be yourself and stay raw and authentic. And leave no questions unanswered. Leave nothing unanswered. Just give it all away for free, the information. Because people, with all the information that they come and get from you, they probably will not be able to take all of that information and apply it into themselves, whatever it is, their businesses, their fitness goals and all that, and turn it into the result. Probably won't be able to. And if they will be able to, even better, then you make your paid product based on that. So let's look at Alex Hormozi again. This is Alex Hormozi's model, right? So for people from 0 to 3 million a year, he gives everything for free. All the info for free. How to get from 0 to 3 million a year. Once you get there, because you've consumed all his content from 0 to 3 million a year, when you get to 3 million a year, who will you go to? Imagine he's the only person you learn from to get to 3 million a year. Or the person that you've trusted the most. Who are you going to go to? You're going to go to Alex Hormozi. Of course you are. For what? For acquisition.com, right? So here, acquisition.com. Right, and what is this? Well, he'll invest in your business. He'll invest in your business. It will help you get to 100 million. So this is Hormozi's model. So what you can do here is, let's say you're selling, let's be creative. You're selling a bodybuilding offer, okay? I will help you become a pro bodybuilder from scratch. The first step to becoming a pro bodybuilder is actually getting, familiar with the gym. So that can be all your free stuff. Get familiar with the gym, build muscle, all that kind of stuff, exercises. Give it all away for free. But from then, there's a process of becoming a pro bodybuilder that's a bit more difficult to figure out without implementation, without consultation, without one-to-one time. And I'll tell you another thing. People's questions will never run out. I know this personally. I am so knowledgeable in this space, yet my questions never run out. There are always people who are more knowledgeable than me in this space that I'm willing to learn from. So your prospect is in the same position. Your prospect will never want to stop learning. And if they see you as that person on that pedestal that they want to learn from, that they want to take from, that they want the one-to-one time for, then they will buy from you. So now that's dialed in, now that your marketing message is dialed in, and I haven't really gone deep into what kind of content you should post and specific to your niche and all that kind of stuff. But let's look into fulfillment. I'll look into the marketing side in another video if you want to go more in depth. How do you successfully fulfill for a client that comes to you and pays you, 2K, 3K, 4K, paid in full for 3-month commitments, 6 months, 12 months? How do we do that? I mean, our highest with a partner, our highest ticket is 18K. 18K, we're looking at 8 months. How do you successfully fulfill for a client who pays you these fees? So there are 2 parts to this. What do you straight after you receive the payment, and the general fulfillment after they've joined and all that kind of. So payment has been received. What you need to understand is the sale is not done when the payment is received. Why? Because when the client pays you for the first time, they're scared to death that they may have made the wrong decision. There's going to be some early symptoms of buyer's remorse. There's an increased likelihood as a result that they ask for a refund or a chargeback. So how can you handle these psychological objections that they will have in their mind when they join your program? Because these are all psychological objections. People are still unsure. A lot of people in the space, they're getting in clients, but their clients are, churning or asking for chargebacks or not making the full payment. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared. So you need to give them a confirmation that the decision they've made is the right decision. And unfortunately, guys, this isn't just about getting into their pain points. No. It's about showing real proof that this is the program for you. So how can we do this? Number 1, you need a killer onboarding process. And you might be thinking, what do you mean killer onboarding process? Surely you just add them to the program. No. So I've literally written this down. I'm going to write it down here as well. Copy this. It's very, very simple. So number 1, follow closely. Made. Number 2, what's going to happen is welcome email. And this better be a good welcome package, right? And in this welcome package, first of all, this welcome package will be sent out immediately on the sales call, right? And in this email, they'll find everything they need in order to join, right? So basically, it's a full email with everything, right? So join the Discord, video modules, book a call, basically everything you're giving away. Make sure you give them one hell of a welcome package. Give them a bunch of clarity, set their expectation. So next, number 3 is schedule in a road mapping call. Oh my God, so important, so important. This is vital. Why? Because you need to be showering your client with attention in the first week of the program. They are scared. I told you they're scared. So you need to be showering them with attention in the first week. Right? This call will give them the assurance and the support that, okay, right, we've got you, right? We're on this journey together. We'll give them the assurance that their transformation is in the right hands, that their path to success is mapped out for them. So this is what you're going to do. You're not just going to speak to them on the first call. You're going to map out. So let's say they join for 90 days. You're going to map out what the next 90 days looks like with milestones. So this is what I would suggest. Create phases in your program. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, maybe one phase every month. And what this does is you will give them something to work towards. It's like rewards. You'll give them rewards. So maybe what you can do is the first week create a milestone. Why? Because in the first week they're still fresh. They still have those symptoms of buyer's remorse. If you can in the first week get them a huge milestone, a huge win, then you've got them in. Now you've got them excited to get them going, and now they can basically keep going, and you've built huge momentum for them. So this not only will give so much clarity, but it will also just get them excited and will build the momentum. So one thing I would suggest, and one thing I got from somebody in one of the communities that I'm in, he said, with our fitness clients, we lower their calories for the first week. So we can get in them quick results. We lower their calories, especially for those people who struggle with, think about it, people who are joining a fitness program, struggling with calories are probably very difficult with discipline. So imagine that first week where they've lost 2 kilograms, 1 kilogram, right? We need to be realistic here. They've lost 2 kilograms maybe. They're over the moon because they've never done it themselves. Because they've been trying for years, and now the first week, they've just lost huge weight. Right? So give them that big win in the first week. Focus on creating your program in a way where they can achieve a good result within the first week. Now, how do you actually fulfill? I haven't actually scripted out anything for this. I haven't written any notes for this. So let's actually speak about how I would build a program in this day and age. There are essentially a few steps to this. So let's call this part, I don't know, what is it? Part 3. How would I build a program in this day and age? Number 1, support. You need to understand what levels of support your client needs based on your niche, based on your client situation. So each client in each niche will need something else. So for example, if you're a fitness coach, you need to support your client in a different way than if it's a careers coach, for example. So these are your different levels of support, right? Number 1, pre-made resources. So here, resources. Now resources, very simple, are just courses. This is like the lowest part of the pyramid. This is probably the least valuable thing. I don't know if you've bought a program before, but for me, when I buy programs, the resources, I look through them maybe once and that's it. The rest is what matters most. So if you create a pyramid of, let's call it the value pyramid, right? Let's get rid of all of this. The value pyramid. I'm going to write down to you the different layers of value and what they are in terms of importance. Number 1, let's call them modules, or let's call it course. That's number 1, video courses. Obviously, this depends on your niche, but in raw terms, that's number 1. Number 2, chat access. And I would actually say community, because people can seek advice from the community. So you have a community of 30 people, create that community. If you're dealing with your clients just one-to-one, and they're never exposed to your other clients, depending on your niche, of course, but I would highly recommend you doing that. Why? Because now they've joined a community of people who are on the same transformation. So get people on a community. Now, number 3 is probably the group calls. Now, these are very important because why? Because you're getting people on a call on a group basis. So again, you have that community access, but now they can also ask live questions. So if you do weekly group calls or monthly group calls or bi-weekly group calls, or you make group calls based on the topic. So in a lot of B2B programs, you'll have a group call on content, you have a group call on acquisition sales, you have a group call, just different things, right? So create a group call, get in some coaches to host group calls depending on your margins and depending on where you are in your journey, right? And then the last thing, which is the most obvious, is the one-to-one access. This is the most valuable thing. This is what people are paying you for, right? They get the modules and the course in your free content anyway, right? Like we said, just give this all away for free. All of this, get rid of it. Give it all away for free. This is a bonus. This is a bonus, right? In fact, this is very important, but it is a bonus. People pay for the one-to-one access. People want access to you. Now, obviously, you decide how much access you want to give them, but I would always recommend having a sort of top tier offering where you give them more one-to-one access and you taper that down. So what we have with one of our partners offers is we have the 18K offer. They receive more one-to-one access. The 7.5, they receive less. In fact, I don't even think they receive any one-to-one calls. And then the 2.5, they don't really receive any one-to-one calls. I think they receive 2 in total, 7.5 as well, right? So this is the value pyramid, and I want you to understand, in order to create a coaching program that works, you need to understand this value pyramid. Now, this one-to-one access is obviously the 24-hour chat. It's the one-to-one calls, right? Of course, the one-to-one mentorship. But it's also your ability to pull the weight of a coach. What do I mean? A lot of clients want to be handheld. I certainly noticed this when I joined the program. I wanted to be handheld. I had so many questions, right? I want to be handheld to my goal. So what you want to do as a coach, and I've actually hired a coach one time that has actually done this really well. He's my sports performance coach, specifically in football. This guy messages me every single morning asking me how I'm doing. Every single morning. So it's all about how far you go as a coach, one-to-one, speaking to your clients, how you doing, how's your day, how you feeling, and really, really just continuing to have that conversation. Now, I understand when you have more people, it's different, but that's when you bring in coaches. People are nowadays paying for that one-to-one access, right? And that's really, really important. Do-it-yourself courses, it's starting to get difficult. It's starting to get difficult because people don't want do-it-yourself. People want at least done with you. Right, done for you is different. That's more like B2B, agency services, blah, blah, blah. So if there's anything you take away from how do you fulfill, give away one-to-one. And that way you'll get better results. And when you get better results, you'll build that bigger credibility. You need to put in the effort for your clients. You need to be all in for your clients, right? You haven't just gotten the money, right? And that's it. You've taken it home and that's it. You don't have to work for it. You still need to work, not just to ensure your dignity because someone has paid you, and you need to take care of them and to get that transformation, but also to ensure the long-term sustainability of your program. Part 3 of all of this is, how do you get that long-term sustainability? And the answer is very, very simple. How do you run a coaching business or education company that can last for multiple years, 3, 4, 5 years, a personal brand that's bulletproof, like Alex Hormozi's? Honesty and transparency, dignity. Have that dignity and understand, and this is something I've been taught from a very, very young age in my religion, a lie will always be found out in this world or in the next. Getting very, very philosophical, but a lie will always be found out. So why don't you take a vow for yourself right now that I will focus on my dignity as a creator, as a coach, as an educator, and I will always focus on fulfilling best for my clients. I will go above and beyond for my clients. Now, why is this important? Because first of all, have some dignity. Have some dignity. Dignity is the one thing that keeps us going. This one thing that, yes, I'm taking care of my people. I have a peace of mind because I know that I've genuinely done my best. So that's number 1. And number 2 is just have that honesty and transparency. So if one day you mess up with a client, just tell him, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Get rid of your ego and get rid of this idea that, oh yeah, the money's coming, that's it. I'll go chill and party. Now the pressure's onto you to really fulfill. So this is my sort of theory, and this is what I'm going to be doubling down on personally in my personal brand, which is the focus on dignity. If I can show that I have that, if I can show that I genuinely can fulfill, if I can show that I care about the fulfillment, and if you can show that you care about your clients and the fulfillment for your clients, and as a result, your clients are getting the results, it's a spiraling effect. The world will reward you. The people around you will reward you for your honesty, for your transparency, for your dignity. So I want you to keep that in mind and really, really focus on, when someone is coming in paying me, am I doing my best to fulfill? Am I really trying my utmost best to fulfill? Right? Am I thinking about, okay, how can we improve the product? How can we level up? Because there are 2 things that happen to gurus who, number 1, can't fulfill, so their fulfillment is really bad, and who tell lies in their content. There are 2 things that happen to them. Long term, they die out. I haven't seen a single guru who's been found out for lying that still is able to sort of have a sustainable, sort of long-term bulletproof personal brand. His personal brand has been tarnished. Right, that's number one. And number two, if you focus on your fulfillment, you will get these client results. You will get more referrals. Oh my God, referrals are beautiful. Referrals are lovely, right? You will get the credibility and the trust within the market. So if there's anything you take away from this video, in order to get that credibility, in order to build a personal brand that is genuinely bulletproof, the same way Alex Hormozi is doing it, get rid of the fluff, stay honest, stay transparent, focus on fulfillment, focus on giving the best service possible, right? And just be honest. And ladies and gents, focus on providing the best service, because so many gurus can't do this. So many online coaches can't do this. And if you're the one who can, you're going to be dominating the space. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.